How's it going, everybody? Jason here. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you're normally here for my music production videos, don't unsubscribe yet because those will be coming back. This is just a limited mini series. I'm going to document the process of selling my 2016 Mini Cooper through Doug DeMuro's Cars and Bids site. So Cars and Bids is basically eBay for cool cars. Same concept around setting a reserved price. And the reason I'm doing that is my daughter actually suggested it. So we've decided that we need a better daily commuter and car for both the kids to learn on, something that's an automatic and cheap. You know, learning to drive while learning on manual with a 300 horsepower hot hatch is probably not a good idea. So if I remember my days of learning on manual, it was a 1991 Hyundai Scoop. I was staying with some family friends and their grade 9 son stayed home from this road trip. So I had to bring him to school. I think he was doing some like competitive something in school and he couldn't go. And I remember stalling that thing 10 times on the way to school. So instead of, you know, my kids burning out the clutch and then smashing up this 300 horsepower hot hatch, it's probably a good idea to let her go for now. Get something a little cheaper that the three of us can use. So I'll use it as my daily driver and then they can learn on it. And then a few years down the road, if they need to buy a car, they know they've got something that's well maintained and taken care of. And then whammo, that becomes their first car. So I thought about trade-in first because it's the path of least resistance. Obviously, you lose money if you trade it in compared to selling it privately, which I've done in the past, and I hated it. I don't want to deal with lowballers. I don't want to deal with test pilots. If I was selling just like a normal commuter car, sure, it wouldn't be a big deal. But given the kind of car this is, I don't really want to go through that aggravation. The main wrench in the situation is how much is owing on the car. So given all the data I've looked at so far, trade-in basically squares away the loan completely. So I have the certainty of it. I wipe the slate clean and I start new with a cheaper car. And we'd be looking at something that's like 10 or 12,000 or something like that. Just you know, a little. That's not even that. Not even really that cheap either. But just something that's smaller, economical, etc. Squares it away. We start from scratch. If I go through selling it privately, I could make a little bit of extra money, but like I said, I don't want to do that. So as I was typing up the ad, my first sentence in the ad was, I would rather saw off both of my arms than sell this car. And my daughter said, why don't you use Doug's Cars and Bid site? So we've both been fans of his channel for a while now, and I've heard of it, but I've never really looked at it. So there's Doug in the background yelling about the reserve price. So I'm kind of at phase one, which is the freak out phase. And that is exactly everything he talks about in the video is, the minimum price I'll let it go for is what's owing on the loan. But if I set that reserve price, like he says, you're probably not going to get any bids or it's not going to sell. If you set the reserve price too high, you're not going to get much interest. If you set it too low, the first couple of bids are probably going to blow by that anyway, so don't even bother. If you put no reserve, he said it's a very, very rare case that you know, you don't get that you get less than the value of the car. Normally you get a little bit more because of the types of cars that they list on there. And he describes all the things like I'm talking about. I searched on AutoTrader. There's no other car on autotrader.ca that's exactly spec'd like mine. So it is a fairly rare car, but he says the same thing, right? Everybody's Corvette is the greatest Corvette, but mine really is. So yeah, I'm in full freak out phase, but I decided to do it anyway, and I decided to document the process. So I've already filled out the form. I haven't hit the magic submit button, and I'm going to do little short videos like this, 3-4 minutes, just to kind of update you as I go along to see what the process is like. So maybe my next video is going to be, oh crap, I didn't make as much as I thought, and I have to pay a few $1,000s to pay off the loan. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I don't think it will. I've looked at used prices of similar or exact same cars in the US because this is available to Canada in the US, and they're actually selling in US dollars for the same price as what I would sell it for here, which obviously means I would make a lot more. So I'm going to pull the trigger on it. I'm going to put no reserve on it, and then hopefully there's not a pile of money out of my pocket. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you want to follow along with that story. And Doug, thanks for putting that site together. And I guess the worst case scenario is, because my daughter recommended it, I do have access to her bank account. So if I get less than what I want, they put half their money in savings from birthdays and jobs and stuff, and the other half goes into their spending account. I can just take the money from there anyway. So if you are watching this and you know who you are, don't worry about that. I'll figure out how to make up the money somehow. Anyway, like and subscribe, follow along with the story, and I will update you once I get to the next stage.